Hello, Contrarians listeners, watchers, superfans, all of you watching this video. Here we are with another preview for an episode, this time the episode on Star Trek, and not just any Star Trek, J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot, reimagining, uh, relaunch of the franchise. You know, the one that made
A
Chris
launch
Pine a
of
star.
careers. Yeah, I was about to
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
A cast of stars by today's standards, but with the exception like Simon Pegg, Anton Yelkin, and who's the other one who plays Sulu? What's his name? Harold?
Harold.
Yeah.
John Cho.
Josh O. There you go.
Yeah.
Mostly
More like
relatively
Star
unknowns.
Trek. Well, it will get better because on the actual episode, it won't be just us. We needed help, and we brought a Star Trek fan, a person that actually suggested this episode. And this is John Amenta from the Pint. Those of you who've listened to the Pint before know that you're in for a treat when he joins us. But that's going to happen in the actual episode. For the preview, it's just Alex and I. We're going to do what we do best, which is bring up some quotes from Rotten Tomatoes, throw some trivia at you, and figure out where Josh Gad fits in this movie. So, Alex, let's not dilly dally anymore. Let's go to Warp 9 or whatever they have in the J.J. Abrams universe. I'm gonna hit you with my first quote. These are all fresh because this movie's super fresh. This is from Deborah Ross from The Spectator. She says, "I'm no Trekkie. I don't speak Klingon. I've never boldly been anywhere in the least bit exciting. My fear of motorways has always hampered me horribly in this respect. And I don't like action epics. But Star Trek is quite fun."
This movie was made exactly for people like that, and we talk about that in the episode.
Do you think that this is just an excerpt from her Tinder bio?
It sounds dating appish. Yeah, I could see
Right?
that.
It got a little too confessional there. Yeah, so Star Trek, the movie for people that don't like Star Trek.
And apparently angers people that do.
Yes. Next, Al Alexander from the Patriot Ledger says, Abrams also avoided the pitfalls of the 3 Star Wars prequels by making it a thrill to meet these familiar characters before they became the stars of the stars. Shots fired at the Star Wars prequels. I know, and
Lucas
listeners
catching
know.
strays there.
Yeah, so everybody knows, anybody that listens to the show knows how we feel about the Star Wars sequels, you know, the latest trilogy. But we don't really talk about the prequels that much, Alex, and I'm curious, without devolving into a full Star Wars conversation, but where do you land as far as prequels go?
Phantom Menace is good after Rise of Skywalker came out. Is 2 the Clone Wars? Is that what the subtitle?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Clone Wars is the cartoon. Attack of the Clones is the worst Star. It's one of the bottom 2 Star Wars movies, and then I love Revenge of the Sith.
See, I remember back in the day in our really old intro, you would open by saying or close the intro by saying, "Yes, this is the theme to what's it called, Revenge of the Sith," right? Like just for everyone, you know, like the best of all the Star Wars movies or something like that. And I could never tell, and I can't believe I never asked you, like if you were serious or not. Like at the time, I thought it was maybe part of the bit. But
yeah, I wouldn't go that far. It's one that I really really enjoy, but I wouldn't go that far.
Do you enjoy it more than? Well, no, you can't tell me. We'll save that for the episode
down the road.
Yeah. Yes, I don't want to just reveal your true feelings about Star Trek, but I guess overall, Star Wars prequels, not a big failure, just more of a mixed experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Adam Ross from The Aristocrat says, "It pleases me to report that the new film from director J.J. Abrams pulled me, a Trek newbie, in like a Romulan tractor beam."
Oh,
I don't know.
Ryan from Spit and Polish is just furious at that.
Shaking his fist. Okay, first of all, I don't know if he's really a Trek newbie because he's just throwing Star Trek references. Romulan tractor beam. I mean, even I guess
it'd be great if he's like, "I'm a newbie to Star Trek, but," and then the rest of his review is in Klingon.
I'm going to close with Ruben Safaya from Cinemalog, who says the film will go down, and endearingly so, as the Brokeback Mountain of space operas. In all the cosmos, a fatherless human and a motherless Vulcan finding one another that which they had lost. What?
Okay, that's that's one of those reviews that like he had his mind made up what he was going to say before he saw the movie. It's like,
Yes.
this is the analogy I'm going to make. God damn it!
This is from the year of release. This is December 6th, 2009. Um, Brokeback came out, what, 2007?
I
Like,
want to
how
say it
far
was.
back is he going with his reference?
Yeah, I think it was '05 when it came out.
Oh, further back. Okay. He's just been waiting all these years for the opportunity to call something the Brokeback Mountain of space operas, and it finally happened.
It was it was like a Mad Lib. He had that line ready to go. He just needed to fill something in.
All right. Well, that's the quotes. There's more quotes in the episode, of course. But before we go into Alex's trivia, it's time for the Josh Gad minute. And there's lots of characters in Star Trek 2009 that could be played by Josh Gad.
The tone of the movie would need to be a little bit more comedic for it to work properly, but I don't remember the character's name. But the guy who was Eric Bana's right hand man, who was just kind of there to, serve every deed that he needed. In this particular example, he would be like more of a kind of clumsy goof. Like what's Gaston's sidekick in Beauty and the Beast?
Uh, LeFou. LeFou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did Josh Gad play him?
Yep, in the live action.
Oh my god. Okay. That
Well,
was like
as long as he still
Freudian there.
gets as long as he still gets the scene where he almost kills Chris Pine,
Yeah.
because
But
that'll
then
be amazing.
that character dies kind of like an idiot too, so that would kind of work out.
Yeah.
Um,
I would put Josh Gad as somebody that's already comic relief. So he would either replace uh, uh,
AL was the guy's name.
AL.
AYEL. Spelled GAD.
Fucking Romulans. But no, I would put him with somebody that's already comic relief. So he would either replace, play Chekhov and replace.
Chekhov was my second pick.
Yeah, I mean, he can
Anton
do the
Yelkin.
Anton Yelkin. Yeah, he can do the accent
Mm-hmm.
and just be quirky, or replace Simon Pegg and he can play
Scotty.
Scotty. Just run and do science things. All right, so Josh Gad, he'll keep being funny in the Star Trek universe. Now, Alex, do you have any funny trivia or trivia of any sort for Star Trek 2009?
So Eric Bana, who played Nero, was a quote huge Trekkie when he was a kid, but had not seen any of the films. Even if he was quote crazy about the original series, he would not have accepted the role unless he liked the script. But he deemed the script to be awesome once he read it. Bana knew Abrams because they coincidentally shared the same agent, and Bana basically came up with like the tics and speech patterns of Nero. Directed by J.J. Abrams, of course, as we mentioned, Mr. Lens Flair himself. Surprisingly, the poster doesn't have one. Written by Roberto Orsi and Alex Kurtzman, based on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry. So this was released on May 8th of 2009. As I call it in the episode, I have to correct myself. I originally said it was like the first big summer blockbuster, but X-Men Origins Wolverine came out on the 1st. It was rushed to be the first movie of the summer, and that's why there are literal special effects that are not completed in that movie. Budget of 150 million, box office return of 385 million, and we'll get into this more in the episode, but it's amazing to think the majority of this cast was relatively unknown, or in the case of someone like Carl Urban and John Cho, even kind of like a cast of that guy. We do have your Winona Riders and Leonard Nimoy's in it, for crying out loud, and Tyler Perry randomly, which we talk about the awesomeness that is. But this was also like the first big, oh, that kid's gonna be a star with Chris Hemsworth. Nominated for 4 Academy Awards at the 82nd Academy Awards ceremony. March 7th, 2010. I don't know why I remember this so well. I remember I was just by myself watching this in my apartment. It was nominated for Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Makeup. It won only one of those, won Best Makeup. Losing Best Sound Editing to The Hurt Locker, Best Sound Mixing to The Hurt Locker, and Best Visual Effects. I mean, come on, Julio. 2009.
Is that blue people everywhere?
Yes.
Avatar.
The first time that Zachary Quinto met Leonard Nimoy at a Comic-Con, Nimoy said to the young actor, "You have no idea what you're in for." That, the legendary thing about Jack Nicholson telling Heath Ledger, "I warned him." It's a little bit different, as in, like, even more than Star Wars, man, because Star Trek was predominantly a TV show. Yes, it had movies, but there was like Star Wars, I should say, was just the movies, where Star Trek there was so much more like universe and like canon. That's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, yeah, of course their fans are fucking hardcore, and I can just see a young, good-looking cat like Zachary Quinto being like, "Yeah, this will be good for my career." And he's never, to a lot of people, he's never not going to be Spock, and he's never not going to have people walk up to him and be like, at 1 minute, 37 minutes, and 45 seconds in the second in Star Trek Into Darkness, your character said, that type of thing.
Anyway, that's it. That's enough of a preamble to Star Trek 2009, the episode, the Contrarians episode with John Amenta from the Pint. For more, obviously, listen to the episode. It should be on your podcatchers right now. And if it isn't, it will be very soon. Coming up next, we're going to follow up this epic science fiction saga with an epic box office bomb. We're going to follow it up with Nothing But Trouble from the warped mind of Dan Aykroyd. I didn't know anything about this movie until it came up. We'll have guests
in many
for this
ways,
one as
I
well.
wish I didn't know anything about this still. My life is in two parts at this stage. Before I knew about Nothing But Trouble, and after watching Nothing But Trouble.
Yes. Watch it for the episode, and if you don't want to watch it, that's okay. We'll recap it and we'll tell you everything about it. We'll have help for that one as well. But until then, Star Trek. That's what's happening. You've probably already seen it, so let's focus on the positive. Thank you for checking out the video, checking out our channel, our podcast, and we'll be back soon.